Welcome to my cookies and cream cake class. So I'll be showing you the process from beginning to the end. So this recipe is a 250-gram recipe, and the first thing you have to do is measure out your butter and your sugar. If you're using your hand and not industrial mixer, you need to whisk or roll your sugar for like 10 minutes before you add your sugar in it. So you cream that together until it is fluffy. So that is what it looks like after 2 hours of continuous whisking. Then you go in with your 1/8 teaspoon of salt, half teaspoon of baking powder, and we're using baking soda as well. So you make sure that you sieve your flour beforehand. Sieve your flour for like 2 to 3 times to get in here into it, and make sure you level your measurements. Sometimes your baking powder might have lumps, so you sieve it, and then you measure the same thing for your baking soda. That's bicarbonate of soda. So all the dry ingredients goes into the flour and you mix that. You can use your hand to mix it properly, and after that you can start adding your dry and wet ingredients together. So for this recipe I'm using 5 eggs, and then I've creamed that for a while, and your egg goes in, then you go in with your flour. So you alternate between your egg and the flour mix until you exhaust it. Can you see the way I'm doing it? You go in bit by bit. And one thing is, once you start adding your dry ingredients, don't over mix your batter. If not, your cake is going to come out very hard and it won't be moist. So you go in with it gradually like that. You exhaust everything. So at this point I've exhausted all my dry ingredients, and that is my vanilla flavor. I mixed about 7 different flavors together to give me a unique vanilla flavor. So you go in with half teaspoon of that, and then I'll be using brandy. You can skip the brandy if you don't want alcohol. We are using 1 tablespoon of that. Instead of brandy, you can use calcium propionate powder. You add it into your dry ingredients, and make sure you clean your work surface anytime you are baking. It is very important that your workspace is clean. It makes your work come out neat, just like the way I'm doing it. So you mix that together. Remember, you mix gently just to fold in all the things you are adding. You don't over mix. When you over mix, your batter won't come out fluffy. Then go in with your half cup of vegetable oil. Make sure you use very rich oil. Don't just use any kind of oil to get best results. Then you are going to go in with your half cup of milk as well. I've already measured everything out. So you go in with that, and then you fold it in again. Remember, we are making cookies and cream cake. You can use as much cookies cream as you want. I'm using Oreo's biscuit for this recipe. In this recipe I'm doing a non-naked cake. If you are doing a non-naked one, that means that your Oreos won't be on top of it. It won't be on top of your batter, on top of your cake after baking. So I've just gone in with my Oreo's biscuit. You can add more to it so that it will come out very well. You can crush it to be smaller than this as well. That is why it is cookies and cream cake. So after pouring, you fold it in again. This cake I'm making is a non-naked cake, although in the one I made in the foil, I made that one a naked one because I top it with some more Oreo's biscuit. So at this point it is almost done. The last thing I'll be going in is my egg, just to give it that shiny look. And then you bake at 180 degrees Celsius for 30 to 40 minutes. If your oven is usually very hot, make sure you reduce the temperature. My oven is very hot and I baked on high temperature, and then my cake came out very brown. So once you notice that your oven is always a very hot one, you bake on low heat. For mine, after this one, I've been baking on 140-150 degrees Celsius. But if your oven is not the type that is usually very hot, you can bake at 180 degrees Celsius. And remember that once you put in your cake in the oven, you don't open until after it is halfway done. Otherwise your cake will not rise. You can use your measuring scale to measure the batter you'll be pouring into your cake. For this one, I'll be using 700 gram. If you can use less, this is a size 7.5 inch pan. It's approximately 8 inches, so I'll be going with 700 gram of cake. If you know how to gauge it with your eyes, you can skip this method, but the most important thing is that you don't fill your pan too much. At least just leave it like halfway, so that when it is rising, it will have room to rise. If you overfill your pan with your batter, the cake will not come out well. It will look somehow because there's no room for it to rise. So you just make sure you don't overfill it, just fill it like halfway done. And guys, our cake batter is ready and it will be going in the oven any moment now. Can you see how creamy that is looking? So if your batter is not looking like this, you are wrong. You are very, very wrong. So make sure you measure it very well to know what you are doing. I was just trying to get the correct measurement before I stop. That is the essence of having a kitchen scale in the comfort of your kitchen. This is very cheap. You can get the more industrial one if you can afford it, the bigger ones. I mean, that one is easier for you to see through everything you are doing. But if you can't, just get the more regular ones. They are cheap and they offer the same thing, they offer the same service. You use them for the same thing. So it's not about how expensive your gadget is, it's about knowing the right thing to do. So before your cake goes into the oven, you make sure you like poke out. I don't know how to, let me use the word, you just smash it on the ground for like 2 or 4 times, so that all the air bubbles will escape from the cake. It is very important that you do so. Some people use like a dowel to like make round circles in it, but for me, I'll just be banging it on the floor a couple of times to get the bubbles out of it, and then it will go in the oven. Just as you can see me doing like that, you do it for sometimes not too much, it's just to get the bubbles out of it. And one thing is, you have to make sure that your oven is preheated. Preheat your oven for like 10 minutes before you put it in, and check with a dowel to see if your cake is done. Would you be trying this recipe? Let me know in the comment section. Bye.